Okay. Today is Monday, September 24th, and we are interviewing Rose Scheive at the Illinois State Library. Rose is 92 years old, having been born on July 15th, 1920. My name is Gwen Harrison, and I'll be the interviewer. Rose, could you state for the recording what war and branch of service you served in?
I served in the Waves, U.S. Navy, um, World War II. I had to think of that.
All righty. What was your rank?
Storekeeper, third class,
And where did you serve?
Washington, D.C., Navy Building.
Okay. And what was your job? What was your assignment?
It was an office clerical job. I typed. We received the monthly logs from ships at sea. We would ID them, put an ID front page, a file number, film it for microwave, and file it in our library
Wow.
so that officers or classified personnel could come in and check them out.
Okay. Okay. Did you ever see combat?
No,
Okay. All righty. So I can't ask you, were you a prisoner of war? That wasn't
No,
appropriate
it
either.
was not.
Were you awarded any medals or citations?
Well, I have 3 ribbons at home, but my one that's listed here is just the American Campaign ribbon and the Victory ribbon. That's 2 ribbons.
Okay.
The 3rd one, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it in so long.
Okay. Okay. What did you receive them for?
I just believe for the time you spend in service, everyone got ribbons
Okay.
according to, I'm not really sure why, but
Okay.
we
Okay.
did receive our ribbons just like all other combat officers and
Okay.
personnel.
Okay. Let's see here. The next question is, can you share any battle planning with us? But that's nothing you were
No, not
involved
really.
with then. Okay. So these are some personal questions. How did you get along with the officers and fellow soldiers?
I got along real well with them. They never had complaints.
Okay.
I got good recommendations from them when I left service.
Okay. That speaks volumes. Did you feel pressure, stress, or anxiety?
No, it was a very pleasant experience.
Okay.
We had a good group of people in the office. As long as we did our job and got to work on time, and I felt like I just had an office job.
Okay.
See, when we were in camp and transferred to our bases where we were going to work, we were sent to hotels. We didn't go to barracks.
Okay.
And then from the hotels, we were assigned to our different jobs. And means we didn't have barracks. And I worked under Admiral King.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted his personnel to live out off a base.
Okay.
So we were able to live away. So I didn't experience the same as barracks living. So for me, it was going to work at 8 in the morning and getting off at 4 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it.
Yeah. We kind of had the Taj Mahal experience.
We did. I was
Yes.
very fortunate. It was, although I think I kind of missed some of that barracks
Right.
feeling too, you know.
Right. There's something different about living
There
with
is.
people that are in the service like that.
And there was always something you could find to do when you lived on barracks,
Right.
because we did visit some of the barracks on our off time, but
It's a community unto itself.
right.
Yeah.
But there were no barracks in Washington, D.C.,
Okay.
so
Okay. Did you keep a personal diary?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
Do you regret that you didn't do that? Or was
No,
it, yeah.
I have it all up here.
Yeah, you really do. You're sharp. You're sharp. Okay, can you tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences?
Ooh. Well, I'm not sure that it would be memorable. I met several movie stars that were
Mm,
based at the Navy Department.
okay.
Usually we did our own entertaining on the weekends since we didn't live in barracks, you know.
Okay.
So it was pretty much a life of civilian
Okay.
working in uniform.
Okay.
That was, we did see a lot of Washington, D.C. and the surrounding little towns, and we ventured away from Washington, D.C. on weekends.
Okay.
So,
Hmm. Um, is there anything else you wanted to share? Who were the stars that you met?
Douglas Fairbanks Jr.
Oh, wow.
and Eddie Alberts.
Okay.
Those are the two that we've seen more of.
Isn't that something? Wow.
They were both very nice, friendly.
Okay. Okay. Um, were you able to stay in touch with your family?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you do or have something special for good luck?
No, I felt pretty lucky. Um, no,
Okay. Okay. Did you have plenty of supplies? I guess to do your job.
that's the one part that living off base, you know, and not living in barracks.
Mhm.
It was pretty much the same sort of a life that you would live.
Mm-hmm.
We went to movies and we went picnicking and we went bike riding on the warm weather and
Okay.
sightseeing, and
Mm.
so that was why you would say that I really had an office job in uniform.
Okay. Okay. All righty. Um, so did you eat food when you were on your job? What was the food like?
Well, we went to restaurants like everyone else.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We didn't eat in barracks.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it was a life away from barracks
All right.
altogether.
Okay. So I think you kind of alluded to this earlier. We're going on to the R&R section. How did you entertain yourself? And you kind of alluded to that a while ago, talking about your bicycle riding and
We always found something to do, and of course, you meet a lot of people
yes,
because they're out doing the same thing.
right. Yes. And were there any entertainers that came to your unit?
Not when you lived away from base. That's
Okay.
another one of the things that
Okay.
you would miss, because on base there was a lot of that going on.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Wow. The next question is, what did you do when you were on leave? But I don't think that,
Went home.
did you? Okay, all righty. Okay, did you travel while in the service? It sounds like you did. Did you do any traveling?
We did a little bit, but it wasn't too far. It was
Okay.
usually maybe on the west coast or east coast and the beaches, but we didn't travel too far away from Washington. If I was going to do a lot and had a lot of time, I went home.
Okay, okay. Did you recall any particular humorous or unusual event?
Well, I lived in an apartment that had 6 other waves, and they could all be real funny and comical and carry on just as everyone else
Right.
would.
Okay,
It felt like a college life, you know.
it sounds like one.
Instead of going to school, we went to work.
Okay. What were some of the pranks that you or others would pull?
We didn't do much of that.
No pranking, huh?
No. We
Okay.
goofed around once in a while, but
Okay.
it didn't
Okay.
amount to anything.
Okay.
We were all a pretty quiet bunch.
Oh, okay. Did you bring any photos you would like to share and tell us about? Did you bring any pictures with you?
I didn't, but my sister did. She'll have a lot of pictures to show you.
Okay.
I don't have, the only photo I brought was one of me at my desk showing you where I worked.
Okay. Oh, wow. Nice.
I looked
Thank
much
you.
different back then.
Wow. Gorgeous. I want to put it on camera.
And these are the
Wow.
pictures my daughter, we went on that honor flight. And she
Oh, it's a
made
nice
plaques for me and my sister with our pictures on them.
It's a nice picture of you. Wow. You look like a movie star yourself. You do.
It's quite a
Oh,
difference.
that's a nice picture. You were a hot-looking woman.
20, that was 26 years old, and now I'm 92.
Wow. What a lovely picture. Okay. All righty. Our next section is discharge and post-war. Did you recall the day your service ended? Or do you recall the day your service ended?
It wasn't. I was working,
Okay.
and I received my discharge papers.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that I left because I'd met my future husband,
Okay.
and he had left shortly before I got out.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, I thought perhaps I would have stayed.
Oh, okay.
I did enjoy my time in service.
Okay. Where were you when you received your discharge papers?
At my desk.
At your desk. Okay. Okay. So the next question is, did the war come to an end or had you fulfilled your military service?
What was that one again?
Did the war come to an end or had you fulfilled your military service?
It had ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were others discharged with you?
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 others that were in the same group.
Okay. Okay. What did you do in the days and weeks afterward, after your discharge?
Well, I headed home soon after.
Okay. And was home Springfield?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
And relaxed for a little while and got accustomed to being back home again,
Yes.
meeting people and looking for a job.
There you go. Okay. So the next question was, did you resume a job or start a new career? You must know these questions. The natural flow.
I did start a new job. My first job when I came back was managing Ben Franklin Dime Store.
Wow. Wow.
I guess I stayed there about 8 months when a better job came up, and I went to Sangamo Electric Company and worked there
Okay.
until I got married.
Okay.
And I worked there after I got married until my first child came along.
Okay. Okay. Did you go back to school?
No.
Okay. So then you didn't use your GI Bill to get your education?
No.
Okay. All righty. Did you make any close friendships while in the service?
Well, it was a group mainly just within the office.
Mm-hmm.
We socialized together after work.
Okay.
We went out sometimes and had meals and sat around and chatted. But it was a circle, lasting friendships.
Okay.
Those you met out like on a weekend were just 1 or 2 visits, and then they were on their way being shipped out somewhere.
Okay.
That was the way it was in Washington, D.C. Everybody was just passing through.
Okay.
So I met my husband because he was coming back from serving his time,
Mhm.
ready for him to be discharged. So we had met within the next 4 months that he had left.
Okay.
So
Um, do you attend reunions?
no, I haven't. They've always been in California,
Okay. Okay.
so a little bit farther than
Yeah.
I could go.
Okay. Did you join a veterans organization?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Um, how has your service and experiences affected your life?
I think I grew up
Hmm. That's
while
huge.
I was in the service, so I was much more mature when I did come home
Right.
and was ready to be settled down and married and children, and that was what I did. And I stayed home and took care of my children till they went back to finish school
Okay.
and were on their own.
Okay.
And then I went back to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, did your military experience influence your thinking about war or military in general?
Well, you didn't like it for one thing, and we weren't allowed to discuss my job and what I seen and what was in the logs, and there was a lot of sadness
Mm.
to see.
Mhm. 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 Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I really can't think of much more. I enjoyed my time in the service. It was a very pleasant experience,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't have changed it.
Mm. Well, that concludes our interview.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Good.